What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing how to shiny hunt every single Pokemon in the Paldea Dex in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet number 200 to 300. And of course, you can check out part 1 and 2 where I covered numbers 1 to 100 and 100 to 200 as well. And of course, guys, you can leave a like on this video if you enjoy it, subscribe if you're new, which I really appreciate, and of course supporting the channel today by becoming a channel member below. And of course, you want to follow the next upcoming tips on how to best do some shiny hunting action. It's going to either increase your shiny rate or make shiny hunting a lot easier in general. Now, there's a couple things you want to do before trying to shiny hunt every Pokemon in the game. Step 1, you're going to want to get the shiny charm. You get the shiny charm by catching all 400 Pokemon in the game. And some of them are version exclusive, so they're going to be rather difficult. But you can catch these, of course, by going online and doing raids, or going online and doing mystery trades, or going online and doing certain trade codes to get certain exclusive Pokemon by trading your own exclusive Pokemon for them. My second tip is to get a Masuda Ditto. Now, what is a Masuda Ditto? Essentially, it's a Ditto that is a different language than the game that you're playing in. So as an example here, I have a Japanese Ditto. Now, if this Japanese Ditto breeds with any of my English Pokemon, I'll be able to get an additional shiny roll. It doesn't need to be Japanese. It can be Chinese, Korean, Italian, Spanish, German, whatever languages are covered in the game. As long as it's a different language than the Pokemon I'm breeding with, then you're going to be good to go. So Japanese Dittos are pretty sought after, or just any Masuda ones. And this is pretty much how you're going to be doing the starter Pokemon, right? So my Fuecoco's in English, and then we got this Ditto right here, then we're going to have a higher chance of getting a shiny Pokemon. Now, how do we get a Masuda Ditto? We're going to follow the trade code on the screen here, and the code is going to be 448448, and you want to trade a Ditto of your own game with someone else's Ditto, and you'll be able to see in the trade screen if they have a Ditto of a different language or not. Another tip is to have a level 100 Pokemon that has False Swipe. False Swipe makes it so the Pokemon that you hit it with will only go down to 1 HP. You'll never actually knock it out, which makes catching a lot easier. So I just recommend False Swipe with something like a Gallade or a Breloom. What I like about Gallade is it has the moves Thunder Wave and Hypnosis. However, Breloom has Spore. So you can make both. It's easy to make both of these Pokemon, and you get the move False Swipe from Jocks when you're completing your Pokedex. And lastly, we're going to be needing a lot of sandwich materials. So if you go to Lavencia, you can actually find every single sandwich material here. So going from the back Pokemon Center, this shop sells food materials. And then up the street from the Pokemon Center, this shop sells a lot of the materials as well. And then when we go across the town here, from the other Pokemon Center at the entrance of the town, there's 2 more places right here, one to the right and one over here. And this is going to give you pretty much every single food item and picks that you'll need to make your sandwiches for these upcoming shiny hunts. Now for Pachirisu, and Pachirisu needs to be hunted with an electric type sandwich right outside of the normal city gym area. And you can either do an outbreak reset here, but you do get a decent amount of Pachirisus when you walk around. It is not an isolated shiny hunt, as you are going to be getting Pikachus as well, but you do see a decent amount of Pachirisu, so this is going to be a pretty solid spot to hunt for this guy. For Shroodle and Grafaiai, I would recommend using a poison type sandwich and doing a mass outbreak reset in Tag Tree Thicket. Now, you can run around and try to get the shiny this way. However, Foongus do spawn with a poison type sandwich, but it's only going to be Shroodle, Grafaiai, and Foongus, so you could do this as a run around hunt too. I just think an outbreak might be a little bit easier. Now for Stantler, you're going to use a normal type sandwich in South Province Area 5, which consists of this top of the green part and then this bottom of the brown part. And you're going to do an outbreak reset because unfortunately there's no way to isolate shiny hunt for this. There's a bunch of normal types that spawn in the area, so you're much better off spending your time trying to just get a Stantler outbreak. Now for Foongus and Amoongus, we're using a poison type sandwich in the bamboo forest. Now you can do this as a walk around hunt. However, there is a good reset point. So going from the falls, you're going to hug the wall until you get right around like right here. And we're going to be right on this rock. And on this rock, we can actually do a picnic reset and get 3 family spawns coming in every single time. It's actually one of the best reset points in the game, and you can hunt a lot of different shiny Pokemon in this spot. So highly recommend using it, as it's going to be fast and easy to do this, and I think it's faster than walking around and hunting. Now for a Voltorb and Electrode line, the best way to shiny hunt is to town reset with an electric type sandwich at Zapahiko, and you can see that we get 15 spawns of Voltorbs here. Super easy town reset, just touch the town, walk right out. Important fact, shiny Pokemon cannot self-destruct outside of combat. So if you do see a shiny Voltorb, you don't have to worry about it exploding until it actually goes into combat. Next up is Magnemite, Magneton, and Magnezone. And the best way to farm this line is to go to the graphs area with an electric type sandwich. And right where I'm located on the edge of the mountain here, we're going to be doing a picnic reset right here. And you'll get 3 families instantly. Now there are other spots to hunt for this line too. If you do want to do a town reset, you can do it at Porto with a steel type sandwich. You can also do it at Lavencia with a steel type sandwich. I personally like this a little bit more just because it gets you to full 15 pretty much immediately. And those town resets are sometimes a little bit slower in those areas, so it's up to you. Now for Shiny Ditto, which is probably the hardest shiny to hunt for in the game in my opinion. We're going to be using a normal type sandwich, but however, Ditto does not appear as a Ditto on the map. And also, if a Ditto is shiny, the Pokemon is transformed as will not be shiny. However, if you do a normal type sandwich right outside of Porto right here, you'll be spawning pretty much nearly exclusively Meowths. And when you look at the different Meowths here, you want to go for the big looking Meowth. So if you see a max size Meowth, you can auto battle it. And then it has a chance of being a Ditto. See, the max size one ended up being a Ditto right there. If you auto battle a non-shiny Pokemon and it happens to be a Ditto and it is shiny, it won't actually get knocked out. So you pretty much want to knock out every big size Meowth you see. Try to auto battle it. Hopefully you eventually get that shiny Ditto. This is going to be a rough one. This one took me about 9 sandwiches. And of course they do it at this spot because you also get a very nice town reset here too. So you can just reset, look for the big Meowth, see no big Meowths, come back, reset, and good luck on this hunt. Next up is Growlithe and Arcanine. We're going to be in the Bamboo Forest, and you can run around with a fire type sandwich. However, I do recommend that you go to this exact spot that I'm at from the left of the Fury Falls area, and we're going to go on top of this rock here, and you can do a picnic reset on top of this rock if you step back right here and get the full families each time. So this is going to be the easiest way to get both Growlithe and Arcanine. Now for Teddiursa and Ursaring, we're going to be in the same spot as the Arcanine, which is going to be right here in the Bamboo Forest with a normal type sandwich. Now, this is not going to be an isolated shiny hunt in Pokemon Scarlet because you get a Rangaroos, but if you're in Violet, this will be isolated, and you're just going to be on this rock. You'll be doing a picnic reset, and you're pretty much always going to be getting at the very least 2 clusters of them in Scarlet, sometimes 3. Just really depends how it pans out. Now for Zangoose, the best way to hunt for this is using a normal type sandwich and doing an outbreak reset in South Province Area 5. Or you could run around this lake area too. You do get Zangooses sometimes with a normal type sandwich, but there are a bunch of other normal types that spawn like Litleo and Deerling, so it's probably not the best. I've done it, but like I said, you're better off trying to get in the rare outbreak to actually appear than just running around and getting all these other normal types spawning around the lake. Now, Seviper, we're going to be using a poison type sandwich, and we're going to be located right here, pretty much just in South Messagoza area. And I will say this, if you are in Pokemon Violet, this is going to be the best spot to hunt this because there's going to be no Stunkies spawning. And this is all going to be 15 Sevipers, and that's going to be pretty phenomenal to shiny hunt. Now, as you can see in Scarlet, we have Stunkies here, which makes it a little bit difficult. So if you're in Scarlet, it may be better for you to get a mass outbreak in this area of a poison type sandwich, but if you're in Violet, I recommend doing a picnic reset at this spot. As you can see, we got a rock right here and a tree right here as your landmark so you can find this location. Next up is Swablu and Altaria. In my opinion, I actually think it's best to outbreak reset with a normal type sandwich around the lake. You could use a flying type sandwich or normal type sandwich and run around. However, there are a lot of flying types and normal types that will overtake these spawns. You could use a dragon type sandwich as well, which will boost Altaria spawns, and you'll get clusters with Swablu. However, you will get a bunch of other dragons too. So I think it's just best to go for the mass outbreak in this case. Next up is Skiddo, which can be hunted all over West Province area, one with a grass type sandwich. However, Caspa Kid does spawn here as well, But I am doing a reset method right south of the Ice Wren Shrine, right next to this windmill here with a grass type sandwich. And you're getting clusters of the Skiddo and some individual Skiddo spawns and then a couple of Caspikids. So this is a pretty good reset spot. But like I said, you can walk around this entire area and just get groups of the Skiddoos as well. And now for Go-Go, I really like going over to the Tower Watchtower over on the mountain. And with a grass type sandwich, you can just walk around and get cluster spawns. It's only going to be Go-Go, so it's a phenomenal and easy hunt to do here in general. You can also do a picnic reset for the Go-Goats as well, so good luck on this hunt. Now for Tauros and all three forms. Now I do recommend, if you are going for the Tauros, you're either going to be using a fire type sandwich in Pokemon Scarlet or a water type sandwich in Pokemon Violet. You can use a fighting type sandwich as well. However, the fighting type sandwich will not spawn the pack leaders, which is the Blaze breed and the Aqua breed. So the reset point is going to be in Porto here, and it's going to be a town reset right on this cliff. And you can see that I'm in Pokemon Scarlet, and I have 15 spawns right here, and each spawn is going to have a pack leader with a fire type sandwich in Scarlet, and it's going to be one pack leader per group. And then the town recess is going back here, and then you want to hit Porto, climb back up, and then between the right, left, or middle here, you're going to be able to get your spawns. So this is how we're going to be able to do this. And like I said, if you are in Violet, you do the exact same spot here. You're just going to be doing a water type sandwich to get the Aqua breed. Of course, if you don't like this method, you can just run around this whole entire area as well to get those different spawns too. Now for Priroar and Litleo, we're going to be going back to the mountain on the Mountain Watchtower with a fire type sandwich. And you can do a picnic reset at Mountain Watchtower, but I really like this spot because I can run around and do this shiny hunt. You'll get clusters of both, just Priroars and Litleo. So it's gonna be a phenomenal spot to get the whole family. Of course, there is a male and female variants, and it's gonna be very easy to try to get both of those with this method. Now for Stunky and Stuntank, which are Pokemon Scarlet exclusives, the best place to hunt them is gonna be using a dark type sandwich during the day, very important because you'll get Murkrows at night, around the lake area, and we're going to be doing it right here at the Watchtower. If you want to do a picnic reset at the Watchtower, this spot's going to be pretty good. However, if you just want to walk around, they're going to be the only thing that are going to be spawning. It's going to be cluster spawns, and the shiny is going to be very obvious. Just remember to save before you encounter one, because they do have the move, I believe, Memento, and they may have Explosion as well. So make sure to save before you encounter these. Next is Zorua, and the best place to get Zorua, and then personally get to Zorua, is going to be at the normal type gym using a dark type sandwich during the daytime, because we don't want to get those Murkrows. And the way to do this is similar to Ditto, but it's going to be a lot easier than Ditto. Now, we're going to be getting Mabostive spawns, right? But you're noticing how we're getting Mabostive spawning outside of clusters. Mabostive only spawns in clusters. Any individual is going to be a Zorua in disguise. I can see Walking Wake here is going to be knocking them out. Oh, we got Zorua fur. Let's go for this one. And this should be another Zorua. Now, if we get a shiny Zorua, it won't be shiny on the overworld, but we won't be able to knock out the Pokemon that we're auto battling if it is a shiny. So keep that in mind. But it's going to be a relatively easier hunt than Ditto, just because you know exactly who you're going to be auto battling for. Of course, there's not going to be like too many of them. And there's also the bonus that you can potentially get a shiny Mash Chief or Mabostive from the clusters as well, so good luck. And with a dark type sandwich, we're gonna be hunting for Sneasel, and pretty much Sneasel with dark type sandwich will be isolated, shiny, huntable in any of this ice area, so you can just run around in the ice. And I was actually going to show you a good reset spot right here at the mountain, because I really like this spot for resetting in general. You just stand right over there and do a picnic reset. But we ended up actually getting a shiny immediately just by heading over there. So this is going to be a phenomenal spot. Maybe we'll get as lucky as me in getting a shiny Sneasel literally within the load-in to this spot in general. Absolutely wonderful. Next up is Murkrow, and it has to be at nighttime with a dark type sandwich. I'm going to go just south of Arceus. We're going to be doing a town reset. And with this town reset, you can get about 3 clusters of Murkrow, which is pretty fantastic. Of course, a bunch of different places can do this type of hunt for Murkrow, but I just really like this one because you pretty much always get 3, which is really nice, and the shiny super obvious too. Next up is the Goth line, and to get the first form, Gatia, we're going to go to Zapapico at the east entrance here, and we're going to be using a psychic type sandwich, and this is going to be the best spot in the game. However, I do recommend also an outbreak. You can do a town reset here, and they only spawn on the edge of the town. And the issue with this town reset is a bunch of other Pokemon still spawn when they are outside of the edge of the town, so it can be pretty brutal. But I've successfully done this hunt, but you can see we got like 5 here. But you get the town reset, and you're either going to hug the right side here, so you can like get the better sight line of the edge of the town where they're actually going to spawn in, or you can do it on the left side too. Both are going to be pretty good ways to actually complete this hunt. Now, if you want to get the other parts of the Goth family, we're going to be going to the psychic type gym area, and we're doing a town reset with a psychic type sandwich. This is going to be relatively easy. The hard part is actually telling the shiny, but anywhere where it counts as the town, you just want to walk into it, which I like being on this part of the town and just walking right back out. You get the 15 spawns fast and easy, so good luck on getting this shiny family. Now for Sinistea, we're going to be doing a ghost type sandwich during the day at the psychic type city gym and doing a town reset method. Now, it could be a little bit hard seeing these guys, so I recommend either using the zoom function or just walking up and trying to see each one too. I will say that authentic Sinistea is currently broken in the game code, so you cannot hunt it with a sandwich or in a mass outbreak. If you're trying to get an authentic one, you would just have to get a shiny one randomly and get that extra 1 out of 100 roll to make it authentic. But good luck on the shiny hunt. Next up is Mimikyu, and we're going to be in Tag Tree Thicket with a ghost type sandwich. Doesn't matter if it's day or nighttime, as is the only ghost type that spawns, and it spawns during the day. Now, you could potentially try to outbreak hunt this thing, or you can just do a walk around hunt for this. Either both are going to be pretty good, as you get a lot of spawns both ways. And you could also do a reset. This is probably a pretty decent reset point right here in the middle, where you will do a 360 spin and you get 15 spawns. So if you want to do a reset spot, you could definitely come over here, which is pretty close to where that Terra Grafaiai is going to be. And back to the psychic type gym, we're going to be using a steel type sandwich to hunt for Klefki, and we're going to be doing a town reset. Very simple, and the shiny is very obvious. It's going to be like blue and gold to notice, so you know, just hit that town reset, come back, come right back in, and you get this shiny fast and easy. Now for Indeedee, which is going to be over in this area in North Province Area 1 with a psychic type sandwich. And we're going to be walking around for this hunt, and you can get both male and female Indeedee by doing this method. It's not isolated. However, if you do want to get female Indeedee, this is the only good way to do it. If you want to get male Indeedee, you can outbreak reset, because only the males are in outbreak, so keep that in mind. But you will also be getting Spoinks, and you will also be getting Asparthas as well, so you know, keep that in mind while you're doing this hunt when you're due to walk around. Next up is Bramblin, and Bramblin can be easily shiny hunted pretty much on any top of these rocks with a ghost type sandwich, and you can do a picnic reset on the one that I'm currently on. As you can see, it is windy, so the Bramblins are actually going to be rolling off and consistently despawning and respawning. But if you don't have this storm, you just want to get up to the edge here, and then you want to do a picnic reset, and then you'll get a fresh 15 spawns. Next up is the Toad's Cool line, and with a ground type sandwich, you can do a picnic reset over on this spot on top of the mountain. You can do a picnic reset right here and get the triple family spawn, but you can also run around the entire area with a ground type sandwich, as is the only ground type that spawns in general. Next is Tropius, and we're gonna be hunting this around the lake with a grass type sandwich. And I like this as a good run around hunt in general, but you could potentially also do a picnic reset for it. Because it doesn't have clusters, I do find it a little bit faster just do a run around the lake area. You potentially could get more spawns, but if you just want to do a picnic reset at the other towers, that's going to work great to getting your 15 spawns too. Next up is Fomantis and Lurantis. We're going to be hunting this in North Province Area 2. Now, this is going to be a great spot for this very hard to hunt Pokemon. So we're going to be using a grass type sandwich, and you can see that we got a couple of clusters here, but it's not isolated because Hoppit unfortunately does spawn here too. But when you're in this corner, you're going to run all the way back here into like this void zone, which is supposedly the DLC. And we're going to go out, come back here, and we're going to get more Lurantis and Fomantis. You may want to come out a little bit further, but sometimes you will just get Hoppits. Now, you could potentially go for a mass outbreak on these guys, but the outbreaks are pretty rare and hard to get, so I think this is going to be the best way to spend your time in trying to shiny hunt it. Next is Cloth, and Cloth only spawns in one area in the game, which is literally like right around here, and I'm actually right above where you fight the Titan Cloth. Now, if you use a rock type sandwich and you go on top of this mountain here, you can do a picnic reset. Now, unfortunately, it's not an isolated shiny hunt, but you can get about 3 to 5 cloths by doing this each reset. But if you don't like this method, you could try to run around, but you're still going to get Knackleys, or you could try to get a mass outbreak too. But those mass outbreaks are relatively rare, so good luck on this shiny hunt. Next is Caspa Kid, and we're going to be right outside of the water type city gym and the desert doing a town reset with a grass type sandwich. And you're able to get 15 spawns here, relatively easy. You just want to touch the bridge here, walk right back out, you'll get your 15 spawns relatively quickly. And the shiny is pretty obvious too, so you'll notice even with these sandstorms going around. Now for Cacnea, we're gonna be in the desert with a grass type sandwich, and I recommend being around this rock over here and doing a picnic reset. Now, it's not going to be an isolated shiny hunt. However, you're going to get mostly Cacneas from doing this. And if you pan the camera around, you can see that we mostly have them. So, recommend just resetting on this rock and you should get it pretty soon. Now for Redlore, we're going to be using a bug type sandwich. And you can go on most of these rocks. But on this rock with a bug type sandwich, you can nearly isolate shiny hunt it. You'll be getting some Larvesta sometimes, but they're definitely the rarer spawn here. And all you got to do is do a picnic reset out here, and you'll be able to get as many shiny Redlores as you want. Now for Venonat, we're going to be going to Arts Zone East with a poison type sandwich and doing a town reset. You want to go right about here on the town path. And over here, you're pretty much only going to get Venonat. Sometimes you do get Shroodles, but you can get up to 15 spawns here. And once you don't have any shinies, walk up to the town, get that reset, walk back right down here, go to this point, and you should get another 15 spawns, and good luck on the shiny hunt. Next up is Pineco, and unfortunately, you're going to have to do a mass outbreak reset for this guy. I do recommend going to the normal type city gym area, or you could try doing it in Tag Tree Thicket by doing a mass outbreak reset until you eventually get your outbreak. Fortress is a very easy hunt with a steel type sandwich on top of the Ground Blade Shrine area. We're gonna go on top of the mountain. We're gonna be doing a picnic reset here. You get about 15 spawns and the shiny super obvious. I do recommend saving before encountering the shiny just because the fortress do have explosion. Now for Scyther, we're gonna be going to the lake with a bug type sandwich at the watchtower number 2. We're going to be right on the edge of the tower here, and you get 15 spawns just by doing a picnic reset here, and you're definitely going to want to have 2 so you can evolve one into a Scizor. For Heracross, we're going to be using a fighting type sandwich right on top of the Ground Blight Shrine, and on top of this rock, you can do a picnic reset, get 15 Heracrosses. Heracross does have a male and female variant to their horns, so if you want to get both, recommend farming this spot for a while. Now for Flittle, we're going to be going to the water type gym and doing a town reset right on the edge of this town and the desert with a psychic type sandwich. As you can see, we get 15 spawns of these guys, and the town reset is really easy. You just want to touch this pad, go right back out, and you can easily get 2 of them for your living shiny decks. Next up is the Hippos, and I just recommend doing a ground type sandwich in the desert and resetting in the desert until you get a hippo mass outbreak. The unfortunate thing is you can't really isolate shiny hunt them in any location in the desert, so you're gonna have to really either get lucky if you walk around on the west side of the desert, or you're just gonna have to get a mass outbreak. For Sandile, we're gonna use a dark type sandwich in the desert on top of this rock right here, and we're gonna be doing a picnic reset on top of this rock. You get spawns in front of you, sometimes to your left, and then sometimes to your right as well. You get a couple down here, so you'll eventually get this shiny fast and easy, as this is an isolated shiny hunt. For Silicobra, you can try to hunt it with a ground type sandwich by doing a town reset. It is not an isolated shiny hunt, as you will get Fampies too. However, it's a pretty decent spot, as the spawns are about 50-50 when you do the reset. Now, if you don't like this spot, you can always do a mass outbreak in the desert as well. This one usually ends up being a little bit faster, in my opinion, just because you get more spawns quicker and you don't have to spend time getting an outbreak. Next is Mudbray and Mudsdale. For ground type sandwich, we're going to be going to Zappico West, and we're doing a town reset. As you can see, you get a bunch of spawns, either just single Mudsbray or Mudsdale in cluster spawns. They'll spawn to the left, they'll spawn to the right. They sometimes take a little bit of time to spawn, but as you can see, we got a bunch of singles coming in this time, but you just want to keep on doing this until eventually you get your shiny. Now for Larvesta, we're going to be using a fire type sandwich in the desert on top of this rock over here. And you can do a reset point here and you get 15 spawns. You got to turn around and easily reset and you'll get this shiny pretty quickly. Now back to Pokemon Violet, we're going to hunt for Bagon. We're using a dragon type sandwich and we're going to be right here heading into this cave. Into this cave, we're going to go to the right side here. And we actually have a very easy shiny hunting exploit location for Bagon. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand about like right here. And these Bagons are just going to keep coming out of this wall. And when you see 15 Bagons, you're just going to hit that picnic reset button and you'll be good to go. It's going to be fast and easy. You get those 15 spawns incredibly quick. And you should be able to get probably like 2 or 3 within 30 minutes. Now for Tink-a-Tink, we're going to be using a fairy type sandwich at the Grand Olive Orchard. You can exclusively shiny hunt for them right here. Unfortunately, you can't really do a reset method for them. It doesn't really work out too well from my experience. But you can do a run around method. Just run around the ruins, despawn them, respawn them in, and hopefully you get this shiny soon. Now for Tinka-Tuff, we're going to be going to Zapapico West with a fairy type sandwich and doing a town reset. As you can see, you get a bunch spawning in around you, and all you got to do is walk right in to the town, get that reset. They'll spawn to your left, in front of you, and to your right. Now for Hatina, we're going to be using a Psychic type sandwich and hanging out around the pools over here. You can do this hunt as a walk around, or you can do a mass outbreak reset until you get a Hatina, because it's not truly isolated, but you still get a good amount of spawns here. Now for Impidimp, I recommend going to Tag Tree Thicket with a dark type sandwich. I'm currently doing this at night, but you should do this during the daytime. You do it during the daytime, you remove all the Murkrow spawns, so keep that in mind. Then you can easily isolate shiny hunt this. You can do a picnic reset on this part of the map right here, but you can also just walk around. Next is Wiglet and Wugtrio. For Wiglet, I recommend going to a beach, pretty much any of the beach in the southern part of the map here. So over here or on the other side of this beach here to do a mass outbreak reset. Now for Wugtrio, I recommend doing the northern beach over here. It's going to be a lot easier to get it over there as well. Next up is Bombardier, and we're going to be doing a town reset at the Psychic type gym with a dark type sandwich during the day. And as you can see, we get 15 spawns and they're a little bit feisty, a little jump on you, but it's super easy to do a town reset at this point and easily get this. Next up is Finizen, and I do recommend doing a mass outbreak reset on like a beach area or in the middle of the ocean. Pretty much Finizen spawns pretty much nearly around the entire map, so you can do it pretty much on any location. I just recommend the beaches. That's a little bit easier to stand around there than just doing it in the middle of the ocean. Now for Varoom and Revaroom, we're going to use a poison type sandwich over on the mountain watchtower, and this is going to be a super easy hunt. You can either do a picnic reset or you can just like walk around and wait to see the shinies up here because they all spawn in clusters. It's gonna be an isolated shiny hunt, so it's gonna be super fast and easy to get. Now for Cyclizar, we're gonna be using a dragon type sandwich, and we're going exactly on this point right here, which is like on top of this mountain area. And on this point right here, you'll get a bunch of Cyclizars who will despawn themselves, and then new ones will keep respawning. So this is sort of like a little bit of a hands-off hunt. However, you got to be quick on it because when the shiny does spawn, you got to make sure that it doesn't despawn itself. So you got to be a little bit quick and pay attention. Of course, you can always go back up here to despawn some of the other ones if you don't like those running around or just sitting there too. Orthworm will need a steel type sandwich, and we're going to be doing a town reset just north of the water type gym here. As you can see, just on the town's border, very easily to get the 15 spawns and just walk back to the town. Get that reset, another 15 spawns, and this will be easy shiny for you to hunt. Now for Sableye, we're going to be using a ghost or a dark type sandwich, and we're going to be going right over here to a cave entrance, cut through the cave, and we're going to be underground. And underground, you'll know you're in the right spot when you have this dude right behind you, and you're going to do a picnic reset in between this guy and this part of the cave. You'll be getting 15 spawns of Sableye popping out of the wall right there, and you just do a picnic reset until you eventually get your shiny. Now for Shuppet, we're going to be using a ghost type sandwich just north of Artezone here. Now, I'm in Pokemon Scarlet, so this is not an isolated shiny hunt, but in Violet, this is an isolated shiny hunt, which is really nice. And to do this town reset, we're just going to go back to Artezone, just climb back up next to this Sunflora right here, and you're going to get more spawns. So, you know, it's pretty decent for Scarlet to get Drifloom as well. However, if you're in Violet, you'll just get Shuppet, which is going to make this spot phenomenal. For Phalanx, there's a couple of good spots. The one I like is going to be just the north of the desert in the ruins here. And we're going to be using a fighting type sandwich. Now, Phalanx will actually despawn itself and respawn more of them. So you can actually pretty much chill here and like do a sort of an AFK hunt. And when the amount of spawns are pretty low, you can just do a picnic reset behind this area right here and get many more coming in. Now, if you don't like this spot, you could go for a fighting type sandwich over in the bamboo area here. If you are in Violet, you'll have Passimian and Heracross, and Scarlet, you just have Heracross, so keep that in mind. And there we have it, guys. That is how you shiny hunt number 200 to 300, the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Paldea decks. I hope this video is helpful for you to complete your shiny living decks. Sure helped me out for sure. And of course, guys, if you're new to the channel, enjoy this type of content, please leave a like, subscribe, and consider joining the Pan Fam today by hitting that join channel button below. Anyways, guys, I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a great one.